I've said it before and I'll say it again, man, I love One Piece. Welcome to Jack's Corner, everyone. I hope you all had an amazing week since my last video, and today we are going to be going over the Reverie arc and Wano Act 1. After finishing up the incredible Whole Cake Island arc last week, we are now at the long-awaited Reverie arc, where all the invited kings and queens of the nation around the world meet at one spot to discuss the current events at none other than the sacred marriage law. What follows is a nice change of pace and sometimes even beautiful scenes from all these characters that we love and hate from the earlier arcs, like Princess Vivi, King Wappo, Rebecca from Dressrosa, and now the star of the show, Princess Shirahoshi from the Fishman Island arc. And we finally get to see her above the shore and in absolute awe of the beauty that is the top of the sea, which you just love to see. I love how on the surface everyone instantly falls in love with her, and we're even explained that she is regarded as a beauty as like Boa Hancock, which is crazy. So yeah, she's the star of the show and I love it. From here on out, things get really eerie and mysterious, and I absolutely love it. It's one of those things that make me love One Piece more and more. We get a scene where Fujitora is speaking to someone who named Rigokyu, and I hope I'm not saying that wrong. We don't actually see him, but I'm sure he'll be really important later as he seems more of the menacing type. And after we get that scene, we get a scene that honestly gave me chills upon reading it. We see this tall, skinny shadow figure walking up a really dark corridor to where the figure then goes to what looks like some sort of freezer. And that's where we see a giant frozen straw hat. Like, seriously, what could this mean? I have no idea. But it honestly kind of freaked me out. And it was so eerie, disturbing, and exciting at the same time. We then find out that Sabo and some of his revolutionary allies that we met earlier have infiltrated Sacred Marriage Law and are going to rescue the one and only amazing ally to the once revolutionary army, Bartholomew Kuma, who used to be one of the 7 warlords. And it pains me to say this, but we find him up there being used as a literal slave wagon who all the celestial dragons just ride upon and torture over and over. And so we get like this shot of a broken and beat down Kuma that just breaks your heart. The meeting then begins and we get 2 key scenes. One being that Shanks is having a secret meeting with the 5 elders, and the only thing we see him say is, "We need to discuss a certain pirate." I have no idea who he's referring to, and I don't think it's Luffy because that's way too obvious, but I am very excited about that. But the other key scene that I wanted to hit on is this one. What? Like, seriously, what is this and what does it even mean? This Emu character who we saw earlier analyze the frozen giant straw hat, and now we see that he sits upon the throne that no one is allowed to sit on, and even the 5 elders are bowing down to him. And as he's walking to the throne, he has this picture of Vivi in his hand. That's a huge mystery. Like, what could it mean? The mystery set up in this arc is incredible and left me wanting so much more. And the crazy part is that as soon as the actual Reverie meeting begins, the chapter ends, and now we're in Wano. Ever since I started reading the best story ever, which is called One Piece, all I've heard since I started is, "Jax, wait till you get to Wano. Jax, you think this is good now? Wait till you get to Wano." Well, I'm here, and man, oh man, does it feel good. The atmosphere, the art, the introductions, the dialogue, and just the characters themselves in Wano are remarkable. Seriously, I could not be happier to be here. Like, starting from the beginning, we get these incredible intros of what is going on with, like, Robin acting as a geisha. We have Usopp selling toad oils. We have Frankie being a carpenter all undercover. And they're all, like, as normal citizens in Wano. And then we get this amazing intro of Zoro being a Ronin and being tried for like theft of the Shusui sword that was given to him in the Thriller Bark arc by Ryuma himself, who they're claiming Zoro stole from Ryuma, even though it was given it to him, and it's this whole thing that obviously they don't believe him. They have him commit seppuku, but obviously in Zoro fashion, he escapes in this amazing action scene that had me so hyped from the very beginning. Now back to the gang who just arrived from Whole Cake Island. After a really hard entrance, Luffy is now split up from the Sanji rescue team that we had, and is found by this adorable and amazing character, Otama. She helps Luffy get on track and takes him to town after some much needed exposition. We then get to where things are really going and how things function in Wano country. We learn that the country has no means of getting clean food and water because Kaido, which is one of the emperors of the sea, and his Animal Kingdom pirates take it all, have sucked the country dry to where the citizens have nothing. Now after we finally go into the Wano town, we see this lawless and awful way that the Wano citizens live. Tama is then kidnapped by a Kaido lackey, and Luffy, after meeting up with Zoro finally in this really nice reunion, we get this awesome character, Okiku. Now all of them go and they rescue her, and not only do they absolutely destroy the kidnappers, they also save Toma. I can't believe I honestly teared up at this part, but I did. They also steal all of their food and their water and gave it to the citizens of Guri, which is the town that they're in. And that is when I instantly began to fall in love with this arc. Now, as a real-life human being, we understand in real life there are actual countries that are like this. We see that countries really are like this when it comes to food and water. So when Oda depicts this sort of lifestyle in One Piece, I can't help but truly feel the weight and the seriousness that is happening to the citizens of Wano, just as they also happen in real life. There really are people starving, and there really are people around us that can't even get basic human rights such as eating food and having clean water. It's things like that that make it all more satisfying and just incredible when Luffy saves these people from their own hells and gives them the things that every human being should never go without. And as everyone is merry and they're eating and they're drinking their fill, we get one of my favorite Luffy moments ever. When I read this scene, not only did I cry, but I just knew that this arc was going to be special, and I will always love it and I'll never forget it. And that's this scene right here. Now when we meet up with Kinemon finally and the Sanji rescue team with Law and Okiko, we then learn some details about the Great Lord Odin and what the plans are to take back Wano and open its borders, which is the main goal here, besides defeating Kaido. We learn that Kinemon and the other Odin vassals are from 20 years in the past, due to Momonosuke's mom having the time fruit abilities and sending them into the future the day that Kaido killed Odin. And on top of this, we also get really cool Wano type outfits like samurai stuff for everybody that I absolutely love. And as all this is going on, that's when the unthinkable happens. The skies start to rumble and darken, and people begin to panic as a literal giant dragon comes down from the sky searching for something and destroying the city on its way in. And this is none other than the man we've been looking to defeat, Kaido. Luffy races down the Odin Castle hilltop to face Kaido and save the town that he just gave food to as Kaido continues to destroy it. When he reaches the town, we find that Tama was hurt by Kaido on his way in and is most likely dead. And on top of that, Kaido, because of Hawkins, destroys the Odin Castle, making it seem as though the Straw Hat crew was there and was killed in the insane blast that Kaido sent in his dragon form. All this is way too much for me as a reader and for Luffy, obviously, as he goes absolutely insane with anger and lands a huge third gear punch on Kaido, knocking him down to the ground, leaving the town in shock as Luffy literally hurt the one man who has oppressed these people for 20 plus years. What follows is not only amazing, but just jaw-dropping action panels of Luffy just going all out on Kaido, to the point where he kicks him out of his dragon form even. Even then, when he kicks him out of the dragon form, he still goes fourth gear and continuously just wails on Kaido over and over and over as long as he can till he finally stops. And it looks as though he beat him. What follows then shook me to my core as Kaido, after taking all this, gets up after taking everything Luffy had and beats Luffy with one swing of his club leaving Luffy immobilized and down for the count with just literally one strike. I couldn't believe it. Everything that we had been reading or watching up to this point seemed to be going great, but Oda made sure to let us know that this arc has a long way to go, and that at this moment in time, Luffy and the Straw Hats in their current state are just no match for Kaido, and that enough is scary. Luffy is then shackled with Sea Prism cuffs, who we haven't seen in a while, is thrown in jail, and next to his cell is none other than Eustace Kid. And after that, well, that's the end of Act 1. It literally ends right there, which we've never had an act system before, but honestly I love it. I'm currently in Act 3, but I want to give each act the detail and attention that they deserve, so I will be closing this video on Act 1's ending. And next week, we'll be talking about Act 2, which is the prison one. I truly hope that you all enjoyed this video. I apologize for taking longer than usual for this one, but I really hope you do like it, and I want to say thank you for everyone who has been on this One Piece journey with me, posting these videos every week. I'm going to be starting a new thing to where I'm going to stream on YouTube the day after I upload. So tomorrow, as you're watching this, I will be streaming. So if you want to come by and ask me literally anything or talk about anything, I will be playing Pirate Warriors 4, reliving all the One Piece arcs on my PlayStation. So I hope to see you there as well. And have a great week, everyone. I love you all, and I will see you next week in Wano Act 2.